every lead has to be accounted for. It's like, for you, it's like the biggest thing is like your standard's just too low because you're not used to it. Enough leads in the inbox to be booking 3 qualified calls a day, genuinely. I need to see more outbounds like this. I need every outbound to see like this. You were too unclear. If someone is being unclear, you have to be even more clear with them. Like when they have high intent, they don't want to waste time in a conversation, but at the same time, you can't just book them straight away. You can't be that easy. So today we are going to be taking you guys through how you as an offer owner or coach can train your appointment setter and the process that you should be following. And we're going to follow a very simple structure and go through a couple conversations with the setter, Martin. Martin, do you want to tell us a little bit about whose offer you're on and kind of what they sell?
Yeah, so I'm on Josh Agbizit's B2B content offer. We did 100K last month.
Cool. So let's get straight into it. So the biggest thing that I want to go through today is kind of start from the top and make sure that your outbound messages are good. How do you think the whole setting process is going so far?
It's good. Had a couple ups and downs, but outbounding wise, I get people replying to me sometimes. Sometimes they just air the messages as a whole.
Okay, so let's take these two conversations which I wanted to look at. So you've got Tone Wang and you've got Backhack Scaling. This guy runs some type of agency and this guy is a fitness coach. Both are ICP. You mentioned that this guy was a decent conversation and you're not sure why you booked him, which we're going to go through, but the first thing I want to do is just look at the outbound message. So here you've popped up and you've said pretty fire results. Are these your clients? And he said, yeah, few want leads. So the actual story we can't see, but it pretty much is just like metrics, just results. Tone Wang, you popped up, said, I bet I cook you if you hoop. And he gave you like a super good response, which led to like a pretty long conversation. What do you think the main difference is between these two?
That data one, it's not personal enough. It's going into business from the get-go, which just doesn't interest people really. With the other conversation, it was straight into like personal rapport.
Yeah, the reason why this works so much better is because Josh, like everyone knows that Josh plays basketball. Like he's literally posting reels like this, like best hooper in info. Everyone knows that he already plays, so it looks like it's actually him popping up. Whereas this is like a very generic message. On top of that as well, when you're talking to people about business, they assume that if you're talking about business, then it's to do with like trying to sell them, right?
Yeah.
But if you're just talking about kind of like connecting in the space, like it is here, then it's very different. Right, this is like way more sales pressure. The lead is naturally going to close off and you can see like their response isn't that good. Whereas if you have a super personalized message which is specific to Josh, that's when you kind of get a result like this. I can see that you did it here as well. What did you say here, remind me?
It was a hotel and I said, wow, that house is crazy. Where is this?
Okay, so there it's like now you've got somewhere in the middle, right? It's report based, but it's not personalized to Josh. And because of that, you get him just saying this, right? And you made the conversation go better and you kind of progressed it, but the initial outbound, you did not get a good response. But I'm telling you, if every outbound message you send looks like this, you're going to be doing pretty good.
100%. Yeah.
Right? This guy's already warming up off the bat because he likes you as a person. And the first thing to do in B2B is get them to like you as a person before you go into them seeing value in you. Cool, that's the first thing. The outbound message has to be super personalized and it has to be report based and also to do with Josh. What are like 5 of Josh's hobbies off the top of your head?
He likes clothes.
Yeah.
He's very into fashion. Basketball, of course.
Yeah.
And content. He just enjoys it. That's fun.
Yeah. So like that's where I would focus where I'm popping up to these leads from.
Got it.
In terms of this conversation, talk to me about it. You felt like it should have progressed, but it didn't.
Yeah, so I think it opened up quite nicely at the beginning because of that outbound message. But then I felt like the convo just died out when we started like progressing further along.
Okay, let's have a look. Nice vid, bro. I bet I cook you if you still hoop. What's good, brother? 100%. The last time I touched a ball was that video. Before that was 3 years ago. What's good, bro? I gotcha. How come you stopped playing? Snap like the tendon in my left ankle one too many times. How about you, bro? Do you still play? Okay, from here, I bet I'd cook you if you still hoop. What was your plan in the conversation? How are you going to streamline it?
Well, find out whether or not he still plays.
Yeah.
And then from that, go into like, why are you not filming like some basketball footage as part of your videos or something like that to get it into like more business talk.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Let's see how it went. How come you stopped playing? Snap like the tendon in my left ankle. One too many times. How about you, bro? Do you still play?
Still very report based.
Yeah, good. Not asking a question here is good because it keeps the report going. So that's actually really good. Oh God, how come you've been, so far there's been like a pretty like perfect report. how you been doing recently. The only thing is, okay, when he said he stopped playing, where are you going to go from that? What's the plan?
Shit, I don't even know.
Okay, so it's really important, like at the start of the conversation, your idea is you're going to pop up about basketball, you're going to ask him if he still plays. If he says yes, then you're going to ask him why is he not filming it. But you have to account for everything. So it's not just if he says yes, it's like, okay, I'm going to pop up about basketball. There's only one thing that he can really say. It's just like talk about basketball as well.
Yeah.
And it's like in every situation I can then ask a question, do you still play? And then when I ask do you still play, there's only two things he can say. Either he does play or he doesn't play. Out of those two questions, you have to have a route for both of them. Like this is how you keep the whole conversation in your control. Let's take it back. If he says yes, then you can go into, okay, why are you not filming it? If he says no, then where should you go?
Can go like something along like, oh, what are you doing with all that free time then now? You know, find out about like what he's doing aside from basketball. Just like more extracurricular. Yeah. So it's still in report.
Yeah, I like that. The way I would kind of transition it is I would go from saying when he says no, if he said no, he doesn't play anymore, I would say something like, yeah, I'm finding it super difficult to play, especially now I'm like putting a lot into the biz. Okay. And then I'd leave that as a statement. And chances are, if he's a business owner, which he is, and a fitness coach, he will say, yeah, same for me.
Okay, makes sense. And then you got something to work with.
And then you can talk about his fitness coaching.
Okay.
Right? It's like a natural transition. So I would just have a plan for both. Let's see how you did it though. How come you stopped playing? Snapped like the tendon in my left ankle one too many times. How about you, bro? Do you still play? When I can play just casually now. A good thing here to say is talking about like playing with your team. Like I play with my team members.
Okay.
What you kind of want to do is you want to edge business into the conversation a tiny bit, like here and there. Like you don't force it.
Give hints.
But it's like if you can talk about business, then you will.
Okay.
For example, like let's say someone's talking about a location, you're talking about Cyprus, then you want to talk about how Josh went on a team retreat to Cyprus. Got you, man. How you been doing recently? Love your content, G. Cool. He said love your content. What does that show?
He's familiar with what Josh does. And it's interested him, you know what I mean? Like he's showing interest from that.
I would say the biggest thing is like he's warming up. Like if he's saying he loves the content, it means like he's warming up because Josh does content, right? Yeah. That was cool. Had a record month in Jan, which me and my team are really proud of. And right now, just making sure all the clients are super dialed and yourself. This is great because this is like he said, "How are you?" and you told him, "How are you?" in business terms. And then you said, what about you? So he's forced to say something in business terms. And not only that, you talked about how much money you were making or like how it was going. So he has to reply in business terms, which is good. That's how you transition the conversation. Now you're out the report stage, you're into that like business report stage. I've been trying to scale every month, been on a Japan and China trip past 2 months, but it's good to be finally back grinding. Cool. What do you think of this? When you see this, what do you think?
Stuff to talk about. The first thing that came to my mind is he better have filmed stuff out there.
Yeah, so the first thing to do is check. He has been
filming a little bit, yeah.
Filming a decent amount. Cool. So you said, for sure, bro, that's how it should be. Damn, that's sick as fuck. You must have gotten so much footage. That's sick. What could have been done better here?
I was already aware, to be fair, that he's already gotten footage from his travels, so I could have just angled it differently instead of like leaving it there. Like, there's no question there, like, keep progressing the conversation.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's so much about the question, it's more just about, like, what you said here did not progress the conversation. You must have gotten so much sick footage. What are you encouraging him to say? Yeah, I got good footage. Like, what is the next step from here? You're talking about content, you're talking about business. The next thing you have to do is what?
Put them together, like, link them.
Yeah, but also it's like, you've established that he's running a business, that he's doing content. So the next stage is to get him to work out a problem, right? And then from there, it's the solution, and then the fact that you are the solution to his problems, and then a pitch.
Okay.
But this doesn't pull out a problem at all. What do you think you could have said that would have pulled out a problem based on these messages? Anything at all? First thing I would say is when you're looking at like what you could have said is like, what do you think his problems are off the top of your head from looking at his content?
Okay.
So he's getting okay views.
Okay views, yeah. I don't know. I wouldn't say any of his content really serves like a strict purpose. Like that one's not bad, to be fair. What I eat in the day. They're all kind of lifestyle though as well. Okay, so heavy on the lifestyle content. Yeah.
If you're heavy on the lifestyle content, what does that usually mean in terms of like how the business is going? If you're too heavy on lifestyle content, what problem does that result in?
well, you don't have enough like social proof in your content about like how your business works. People aren't going to be like sure exactly what you do, what you provide, that sort of stuff.
Yeah. So his reels are very like top of funnel.
Yeah.
A lot of them are top of funnel, and because of that, what I think will tend to happen is that this guy will have an intent issue in his business in terms of like the fact that the leads won't have high intent when they come in.
Okay.
But let's have a look. So what I would have asked here is like, I've seen you like put a lot of like your travel and lifestyle into your content. How has that been performing for you?
Mm-hmm.
Because naturally there, he's gonna say, yeah, people like he can say like, yeah, people have been fucking with it, but we know that there's a lead issue. Or like the best case scenario is that he's gonna say something like, yeah, like people like it, but
it's not doing what it should.
Right?
Like he'd give the problem. Yeah, fine.
Yeah. Like, okay, here he can either say, like, if you asked him, how has that been doing in terms of lead flow? Mm-hmm. If he says, he can either say it's been doing well or it's been doing bad. If it's been doing bad, it's very easy because he's telling us his problem. But if he says, yeah, it's actually been doing really well, what would you say?
I'd say, glad to hear, bro. And then I'd probably reply to trying to scale message on there. And then I'll be like, what are you doing to scale further? Or if it was just off the new messages, say, sick, bro, what have you been doing lately? Or like, what content have you been posting lately?
Yeah. To
do that? Or what's the intention behind the content you've been posting? Something like that, like get a bit more specific. That's probably where I'd go.
You can go into intention. I think a good thing would be talking about like, what's the thought process behind not having a lot of middle funnel?
Okay, just straight up like, like challenge him in a way.
It would also be good to have a look at if he's got a YouTube, but into asking what's the thought process behind having middle funnel, and then he gives you his thought process, and then you send a free resource, could be super like valuable for him as well.
100%. Okay.
But okay, cool. Let's have a look. Must have gotten so much footage. Yeah, trying to edit all that shit right now. Been slowly putting out content. Sick. What sort of vids you gonna roll out with that new footage? What was the thought process behind this question?
He can say something that would be top of funnel, middle of funnel, bottom funnel, most likely. Like that's the kind of footage he's going to be filming, most likely being top of funnel, and then be like, oh, like challenge somewhere there. How come you're not, filming some sort of middle funnel video with the new footage?
I don't think challenging is the worst idea here, but I think you wasted a message.
Yeah.
Like this is where you can lose the lead, because he could have just responded to this and said, yeah. So in terms of this conversation, there's a lot of stuff you could have done better, but the main things is that the reason why he was warm from the start is because of this.
Yeah.
And the reason why it's getting difficult now is because your like area of the conversation you're struggling with is making leads problem aware. Right? How do you make leads problem aware? You have to show them, like you have to probe them in order to do it. So you're really good at probing people in order to like get them to tell you about business.
Yeah.
But you're not good at probing people on how to tell you what their problem is.
Okay.
So the biggest thing to take from that is like, okay, here, how could we have probed him? We kind of went over it a little bit, but I'm trying to scale every single month. Asking about that, like what are you doing to scale is good. Been back on a Japan and China trip, asking about how his content has been performing because he's been posting about lifestyle content. That's how you probe for a problem.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
And then from there, after he replies, then it's time for like long form, or it's time to push him further and give him source. And you're actually getting quite close to the picture. But the most important thing in B2B, and the reason why you're not having a lot of conversations, the reason why like you're not producing the results you need to, is because you're not doing enough of this. Like when you do this, you get great conversations out of it. Like this is like dead. Even this is like not super personalized, the one you said here about that's a fire villa, right? And if you look through the inbox, but the most important thing is that like it's like really high quality. Like this is good.
Yeah.
He's gonna reply. This is great. One thing I would say to improve your like response rate is if they're in the US, you're not going to hit them up at 3 p.m. UK time.
Fine.
Right, you're going to hit them up in the evening.
Okay.
Do you help personal brands make more money? Do you work with Sue planning to invest until the start of the year on my own service? Okay, what are your tiers for pricing? What are you looking to? What sort of content systems are you applying right now? Okay, with this guy, he just wants to book in, bro.
Yeah.
Right. So I would even send something like,
my thought here wasn't just to go to move too easy and just get him booked in like straight away though.
What you want to say is like, how do you help personal brands make more money? Do you work with Sue planning to invest in him? What are your tiers? I would say like, okay, so this was shit from him, but I would like tiers like
payment tiers, and I clocked it after.
So I would have just asked like, it depends, what exactly would you be looking for help with? So he says, what sort of content systems are you applying right now? Say, what do you mean? In terms of what you are doing right now with content. Bro, to be honest though, can just get you scheduled in for a call and run through it. There. Let me know.
With inbounds like that are clearly eager, how quickly can you like move the convo along?
Okay, so the main thing with inbounds is that
Because there's obviously way more intent there.
Yeah.
So
Like when they have high intent, they don't want to waste time in a conversation. But at the same time, you can't just book them straight away. You can't be that easy. So if they come in and they say, I need help, or let's get on a call, it's always important that you have like a buffer question where you ask them, okay, what exactly are you looking for out of the call?
Okay.
Or what exactly do you need help with? And then once they give you a good summary of it, then you can just book them straight away, and it's better to. You don't want to waste time. Like this one, there was too much beating around the bush. You were too unclear. If someone is being unclear, you have to be even more clear with them.
Yeah,
right?
fine.
So, yep, until the start of this year, I was running his content and branding. I run my own service separate to what he does. Like, okay, how do you help personal brands make more money? Right? This is an unclear message.
Yeah,
right?
Fine. Needs to be just more detail.
Yeah, so mentioning Sue is good if you follow Sue, but also it's like you have to work out what does this guy probably want, and then based off that, like what does Josh's offer actually look like? I would have sent like a decent paragraph, and then I wouldn't have just said this. I would have asked him a question. I would have said, "What's up? I don't have tiers." Again, the objection handle for when people ask for pricing is just like it really does depend on how done for you need it.
Okay,
the
fine.
level of done for you need it. Enough leads in the inbox to be booking 3 qualified calls a day, genuinely. You know what it is? It's just attention to detail. Like, bro, this guy, this is a great convo.
Yeah.
It's just about having more conversations like this.
Mhm.
And also, when you get to this point, you need to drop this on the GC because this is what you need help with.
Okay, fine.
Like this transition part is exactly what you need help with. When you have a hot inbound lead like this and you don't know how to reply, this is what we're here to help you with.
Okay, calm.
So the main thing is like I need to see more outbounds like this. I need every outbound to see like this. And also you have people coming in. Like you do have people coming in that you haven't outbounded yet. On Sue's offer for me, it's like if there's as soon as lead comes in, I've outbounded them. Like there's no doubt. Like it's all I'm thinking about is how can I like outbound more leads. Also in terms of like his story, okay, he doesn't have a story up. I need you to get to the point where you're pushing him, like you're pushing him so much to be like, yo, I need you to do this. Like, I need you to post a story because I don't have enough leads. But right now, it's like, bro, there are 2 leads that came in 18 hours ago, which you haven't outbounded.
Yeah, fine.
Which
There's
is
still
good.
people there. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like every lead has to be accounted for. It's like, for you, it's like the biggest thing is like, it's a standard. Like, it is a standards thing.
Mhm.
Like, your standard's just too low because you're not used to it. But that's what we're going to help you with. So overall, the biggest things you can work on is dealing with inbound leads and getting clarity from them when they're not being clear, personalized outbound messages, and then also probing people to find the problem.
Okay, calm.
That's the 3 biggest things. Cool?
Yeah, sounds good.
All right, bet.
Appreciate it.